Bivasar here, and this is my 4-year-old Samsung Galaxy S21 Plus. And in today's video we're going to be talking about the pros and cons of using this phone in 2025. So a few years ago I bought this phone from Facebook Marketplace for about $200, which is 3,800 rands at the time, which is insanely cheap for a phone that started out at like 20 something thousand rands. And when I got the phone had not a single scratch on it. It was still clean. Starting with the pros, the first on the list has to be the display. The phone has a 6.7-inch OLED display with up to 120 Hz of refresh rate, which is something that you don't even get on the latest base iPhone. So the phone has great color reproduction, so whether you're watching a movie or scrolling through social media, this is one of the best displays in a smartphone. And our second pro has to be the performance of the phone. So the phone is still fluid. We're currently running One UI 6.1 on Android 14, but still expecting another major update, which is Android 15 and One UI 7. So the phone still has a few more years of life. We also got a few AI features, and one of my favorites has to be circle to search, which is always clutch. And with everyday usage, the phone performs flawlessly. Only a few hiccups, but it's something that I experience on every other smartphone like the iPhone 15. With everyday normal usage, you're not gonna experience any issues. The phone is still very fast and smooth. And when it comes to gaming, it is gonna depend whether you have the Snapdragon version or the Exynos version like me. So I have the Exynos version, and I can still play plenty demanding games at the highest of settings, but there are certain games that I have to lower the settings to be able to enjoy, like for example Call of Duty Warzone. So even though you're not going to be able to play the game at the higher settings, you're still going to be able to play the game at decent settings, and even way better than any other mid-range smartphones that are on the market right now. So you still get better performance than majority of all of those phones. And the next pros is the phone's cameras. This phone has solid cameras. So on the rear we get 3 rear cameras, which is the main, ultra wide, and the optical zoom lens. On the iPhone you would need a Pro to get all 3, but on this is a base model, just bigger. And we also get a 10 megapixel front facing camera. Now all the cameras shoot 4K up to 30 frames per second, and you can also shoot up to 8K at 24 frames per second, but I've never used this and I don't think you are ever going to use this, but it's just a feature that I guess they just put in there. Now you also get tons of camera features on this phone, and this phone's camera can still compete with a lot of the mid-range smartphones that came out today. All 3 cameras shoot amazing pictures, amazing videos, and the only problem I have with the front-facing camera is that it shoots washed out pictures, but it's something that you can fix with editing. So every time I edit the picture, it actually comes out looking better than the latest smartphones that are out there. But the only problem is that you have to edit the picture for it to look good. But other than that, the 3 rear cameras for me shoot amazing pictures, which are still solid in 2025. So yes, this phone's camera is still good in 2025. I think I'm gonna do a camera review. Let me know in the comments if I should do a full camera review and compare the phone to like the iPhone 15 and so forth. Now the next pros for this phone has to be the build quality. I know mine is broken, cracked and so forth, but I've been using this phone for years now and I've used it without a case. Now for it to get to this point where it is now is because I dropped the phone while I was on a motorcycle. But I've dropped this phone from my pocket, from the counter, from everywhere, and the phone has never cracked. Only thing I've ever had was scratches. The only time the phone actually cracked this bad was when it fell off a motorcycle and I was speeding. And still, the phone still works. It's just a little bit of cracks here and there, and it's something that I can easily fix, especially the back. I just need to get the back replaced. But the display, the problem with the display now is that display costs more than the phone. And another thing to love about this phone is the design. When Samsung was still unique and they just had their own design and own thing going on, this phone has a timeless, gorgeous design. And now for the bad things about the phone, the cons. Number 1 being the battery. So after using the phone for such a long time, of course the battery is gonna degrade, but it is not that bad. Like on a normal day I can get about 5 to 6 hours of usage on the phone and I have to charge it again. But if I'm playing games or shooting content and so forth, the battery is gonna drain quicker and I would have to charge it again, but it's not significantly more. The battery is still decent, and the good thing about it is that I can still get the battery replaced, but it has not reached that point. But it is eventually going to reach a point where it's just going to be bad. But after so many years, I'm actually quite impressed with how the phone has been able to just keep up and have a decent battery life. And the next thing has to be the front facing camera's washed out colors. I just wish the front facing camera had more saturation and I didn't have to edit every single picture that I took. The phone is amazing detail, like the front facing camera shoots amazing detailed pictures, but just the color reproduction is bad. So another thing about the phone is that it overheats quickly. So if I'm doing like gaming or shooting videos or just editing something power intensive, the phone is gonna overheat very quick and it gets insanely hot. So that's another problem that I'm facing with the phone, but I haven't had this issue in like 2 weeks now. But before that, the phone was just so difficult to use when it came to overheating, and I'm not sure if other people are experiencing the same thing. It could also be like a software issue, and you know, Samsung, maybe they might have done something so that the phone starts acting up so that you can upgrade. Phone companies do this a lot and it is very common. And the last bad thing about the phone has to be the display. So the phone has an amazing display, but I struggle to see when I'm outside. So the phone is not that bright. It has up to a 1300 nits of peak brightness, and the iPhone 16e, which just got announced, has up to 800. So I'm not really sure what happened there, but the phone, I just struggle to see in direct sunlight when I'm outside. So overall, if you can overlook all the cons that the phone comes with, this is still, in my opinion, a great buy in 2025 with the software updates that are coming, with the great rear cameras, the performance of everyday usage, and the few AI features that we actually got, the good display and so forth. This is still a decent smartphone to buy, and I would actually pick this over a mid-range smartphone. I don't know if I make sense, but I would actually pick this over a mid-range smartphone. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel for more content, and that is it for today's video. Thank you for watching.